All right, so I'm gonna read the Final Fantasy VII Game Informer, and obviously I own this in person. So it's issue 53, September 1997. Basically, it has Cloud and Eris right in front of Shinra headquarters. It says Tomb Raider 2, starring Lara Croft. Obviously, I'm only gonna read the Final Fantasy VII related section because it has a lot of info on the game. All right, so Final Fantasy VII, better than all the rest. Size, 3D ROMs, CD-ROMs. Style, one-person role-playing game. Special features. Tons of detailed FMV sequences, complex combat and weapon equipping structure. 5 different transportation vehicles. Highwind, buggy, motorcycle, that boat thing, and then a ship. 9 playable characters. 2 new US exclusive bosses. Beautiful pre-rendered backdrop paintings. Mogs and Chocobos. Squaresoft for Sony Computer Entertainment. Available September 7th for Sony PlayStation. Most role-playing games are participants in a crude pageant of redundancy, where differentiation has fallen victim to a syndrome of indifference. Innovation has been lost to a contagion of repetition, and classifications have quickly become stereotypes. Then, like a disease run rampant, we've seen this progression of standardization in almost every video game genre. In recent years, it appears as though developers have become afraid to individualize with a unique new product. Instead, they conform to what's hot, or what sells, and try to outdo it by simulating the same experience with a few added features here and there. Fighting, racing, and even role-playing games are all victims of standardization. Think of how many RPGs we have played that feature a forest maze or slime creatures as one of the first enemies encountered. How about a kingdom in turmoil? On occasion, we've bared witness to rare RPG originality in such titles as Shadowrun, Earthbound, and Super Mario RPG. Famed RPG developer Squaresoft is one of the few companies that actually strives to be different in all of their products, attempting to create diversity and depth in each gaming experience. Now, with their newest offering, Final Fantasy VII, which is their first true RPG for the Sony PlayStation, Square has completely revolutionized the standard for all RPGs. Companies trying to outdo Square will have to put some serious development muscle and funding behind each competing project. Final Fantasy VII was originally developed in Squaresoft's Japan office with a team of nearly 100 designers, programmers, artists, and producers. Final Fantasy VII quickly veered away from becoming just another sequel and forcefully gained the reputation of being the most impressive RPG to date. It's extremely rare for a console game to put out demo discs, but FF7 has already supplied the US gaming audience with 2, one packed with Tobol number 1 and one in the PlayStation Underground number 2. Those who've seen these demos have a brief idea what lies ahead. So that's Barrett. That's Cloud. That's Barrett. That's Tifa. That's Red 13. Kate Sith. Yuffie. Sid. Sephiroth. Vincent. Eris. Or Aerith in Japan. Her name changes to based on what country she's in. Okay, September. What country the game came from. So September 7, their future will become a reality as Squaresoft and publisher Sony Computer Entertainment release this majestic RPG to retailers. A more impressive combination of visual displays and solid gameplay have not been seen in an RPG, and the story, while not completely unique, is good enough to hook you after the first 10 minutes of gameplay. All the Final Fantasy adventures, which have been limited to the SNES and NES, have been extremely popular, destined to be ranked as the best RPG of all time. FF7 takes what made these games so popular and expands upon it to an ungodly level, loaded with power. The first thing that will catch a gamer's attention is the wide array of visuals presented throughout the entire FF7 experience. The beautifully crafted computer-generated video clips, detailed backdrop paintings, and realistic animation and appearance for the characters and effects in the game are simply mind-blowing and a serious tour de force. As to the graphical qualities, FF7 is one of the most impressive games around, and surprisingly, it falls into a genre RPGs where graphics have always been ridiculed and ranked as some of the worst around. In one scene, players will enter a military base filled with amazing technology, soldiers around every corner, and a huge cannon fastened on top of the structure. As the story unfolds, something will go wrong, and a huge beast, like Godzilla, emerges from the sea and heads towards the base. It's actually a Sapphire weapon. This guy's ignorant. This is written pre-game. A combination of in-game sequences and FMV clips bring this event to life. Soldiers soon plummet to their deaths, guns sound off all across the base, your character begins to scramble, and sheer madness erupts. The entire game is full of impressive scenes like this, which really make you want to play the game all the way to the end. One outstanding feature is the loss of loading time. The game really plays like a cartridge, with CD-ROM sound and capabilities. It's amazing how fast new areas of gameplay and FMV sequences load. At times, you'll encounter a 3 to 5 second lag time while the game loads, but otherwise the gameplay is not bogged down by anything except your own gaming skills. It's on iPhone and Steam and Xbox 360, Xbox 360, and other consoles let you do 3 times speed mode if you click an analog stick. We could easily summarize the basic plot and story outline for you, but we don't want to ruin the full experience of finding out on your own. Really, would you want someone to tell you what the new Star Wars movies are about? Of course not. This game is fairly linear until you approach the end. There's always someone telling you where to go, what to do next, and what to look for. To some, just grab my hand and follow me. Gameplay structure will be bothersome. Yet even with this fast-moving structure, you will rack up between 40 and 60 hours of gameplay. All 3 of the discs are loaded with things to do and long FMV sequences. This isn't a game you'll get through in a day, and the hidden stuff almost everywhere. It's the kind of game that you'll play again and again to find everything. Final Fantasy purists will surely enjoy the gameplay and reoccurring FF elements found within the Final Fantasy VII. All the menus, battles, and scenarios are very similar to those found in the other Final Fantasy titles, and yes, the cartoon icon hand has returned. Familiar faces like the Mog and Kokobo are present. The extremely popular airship and other transportation vehicles are also included, and the character designs are once again constructed through stylish manga artwork. Final Fantasy VII's gameplay is easy to get a grasp on, and if you have trouble, menus and tutorials will help you to get the hang of it. Basically, the gameplay is composed of walking scenes, village visits, enemy territories, and battles. Everything is extremely basic and user-friendly except for the battles and menus. These 2 categories are loaded with options and possibilities and could very well make or break if not used correctly. The menu screens will allow you to equip and use items, check character statistics, and configure the game to your liking. When equipping weapons, you'll see the stats for your new previous weapons and what the new weapons is capable of. Plus, for certain weapons, you'll have the option of attaching materia orbs. These orbs will allow you to use different kind of magic, produce more health and magic power, and give you new skills. You'll sometimes be required to link these orbs to produce something greater. Only time and experimentation will allow you to master the orbs. While in combat, you'll have access... One moment. Okay, bye. You'll have access to these commands: fights, use items randomly, magic, runaway, and defense. Randomly throughout the game, you'll encounter different combat configurations, like getting the drop on your opponent or being surprised by the enemy. Some enemies will even require certain strategies before they can even be beaten. For example, you may run into a being immune to fire, meaning you'll have to use water or ice. You may not even run into a beast that won't allow you to attack until a certain part of its body is exposed. Key features of combat include character, limit breaks, where they'll lash out a powerful attack, and the summon spells, which are visually impressive. The summon spells consume the most magic power and are extremely deadly. One such summon allows you to conjure up a titan who enters the arena from behind you, walks over to your enemy, grabs the ground from beneath the enemy, and then flips it on top of them, resulting in a heap of damage. You have to find this in the reactor on your way to Cosmo Canyon. And more times than none, deaths to the opposition. Final Fantasy VII is obviously the most impressive RPG to date. If you enjoy RPGs or even games in general, then you should seriously check this title out. It has a great replay value, and above all, an experience you will never forget. Alright, Andy the Game Hombre, 9.75. The proof is in the pudding, and Final Fantasy VII is the best RPG ever made. The graphics will blow you away. The story will eat at your mind. The sound will scare you, and the gameplay and secrets will glue your hands to the controller for weeks. There's just so much to do and see in the game, and that you will want to play it again and again. And coming from a person who has played game twice already, Final Fantasy VII game, have gameplay. Even if you don't have RPG, this game will make you have a devout follower. Trust me, it's that good. Alright, Rainer, the Raging Gamer. Really, what can you say? Final Fantasy VII is easily the greatest role-playing game of all time, and even if Squaresoft releases a sequel within the next year or two, it's going to take a lot to top this offering. The attention to detail, creativity in the story, and the sophisticated combat and general gameplay are simply mind-blowing. Final Fantasy VII does no wrong throughout the entire game, even when you come Lengthy final, you have to crave for more. If you even have a hint of role-playing in your blood, give me a whirl. This could easily be the best game released this year. Paul the Game Professor. I'm really at a loss for words after playing what is undoubtedly the greatest RPG of all time. You can probably tell from the previous coverage and reviews of my comrades that this game is rock solid. Everything from graphics to storyline will absolutely suck you into the game. However, I was a little disappointed that Square broke away from some of the interactive elements related to battles. I thought the special moves introduced in Final Fantasy Japan were killer. Yes, this is just one of the small grab battle game that is otherwise nothing short of spectacular. Or worth the investment of your gaming time and dollar. Bottom line 9.75. Alright. Page 3, 4. Alright. Vincent. Now, we could give you a corner by corner breakdown of this monster game, but what fun would that be? Instead, we've decided to give you a basic outline of where to go and what to do, although we're still relying on you to do a lot. With that in mind, here's a list of some of the basic skills that you must master when playing RPGs. No stone can be left unturned. You must go and look everywhere in each new area you enter. Go down every path and talk to everyone, always. Items are king. The most important thing to remember is that in RPGs, items are the way. You must collect each and every item you can find, especially material. If you can't beat them, out-experience them. Yes, it's sad, but there is a monster that you can't beat somewhere in this game. You can always head back out and find some that you can. Gain some experience and you could beat just about anybody, such as the save monster in Nibelheim, or the spider monster in Nibelheim, or Emerald. Save. There is nothing worse than replaying 3 hours worth of a game just because you forgot to save. When something major happens, save. Before you fight a boss, save. You'll thank us for it later. Warning. This game guide reveals many of the secrets of Final Fantasy VII and may spoil some of the surprising and amazing game using your own risk. Alright, Disc 1. Mako Industrial Complex. Following the beautiful CG intro, you'll instantly be thrust into gameplay after jumping off the train following Barrett and his avalanche resistance squadron to the outer gate of the industrial complex. At this point, Biggs will ask for your name. We'll call all the characters by their original names for ease in reading the strategy guide. The avalanche crew will open the gate and you'll need to follow them. Before you can, Barrett will stop you and say he doesn't trust you. You'll need to name him. From here, follow any and every avalanche team member to the second security gate. You'll need to talk to Biggs to get this door opened. Continue following Jesse to the elevator and head to the next floor. Biggs will stop nearby to tell you how to maneuver around the complex. If you need help, talk to him. Otherwise, proceed on. Soon enough, and after a few jumps and ladder maneuvers, you find yourself at the core level of the Mako complex. At this point, Cloud will place a bomb on the reactor. Before you can escape, you run to the game's first boss. Scorpion-like mech is fairly easy to beat, and the only strategy is to not attack when his tail is raised. Use Barrett and Cloud's normal attacks and avoid any magic on the boss. You'll need it for the enemies that follow. Battle hint, don't tap on the button. Watch the battle and react accordingly. After destroying this mech monstrosity, the bomb's timer will start counting down, and you have 10 minutes to evacuate the complex. The timer takes through everything, including battle sequences and menu bar operations. Basically run. Make your way back from where you came, and make sure to talk to everyone you run to because they have the access codes for the doors you'll need to get through. You should be able to leave the complex with about 3 to 5 minutes remaining, depending on how many random monsters you run into. For more than one enemy, use Cloud's magic, lightning, and an awesome CG sequence of the complex blowing up is your reward for leaving. Shortly after, in a dark hole, Barrett will tell everyone to meet you up at the train station. And the screenshot that shows our target's the North Mako reactor. We'll meet on the bridge in front of it. Jesse, my leg got stuck. Agito, Avalanche's headquarters. On your way to Agito, you run into Aerith for the first time. She's one identified as a young girl selling flowers. Talk to her and follow the sequence to unlock a bonus scene at Agito Bar later in the game. Tell Aerith nothing about what just happened, then show no interest in her flowers, and then buy a flower for 1 gil. After receiving the flower, proceed through the Area 8 city. A few guards will be scattered around, and you'll have to choose whether to confront them or not. If you do, you'll enter a few fights, but nothing too serious. Eventually, you'll escape, and another awesome CG will show you fleeing, and you'll arrive at the train station. On the train, you'll be informed of Avalanche's involvement. Eventually, you'll jump off the train into the town of Agito, Avalanche's headquarters. Head to the bar, meet Barrett's daughter, and talk to Barrett's daughter. Excuse me. And talk to Tifa. She will ask you if you had a fight with Barrett, and if you respond not this time, she'll compliment you on your maturity. From here on, you will need to name Tifa. She will notice the flower, and you'll have the choice of giving it to her or Barrett's daughter. It doesn't matter who you give it to, the end result is basically the same. But if you choose Tifa, you'll get a drink from the bar. Head to the exit of the bar, where Barrett and his comrades will stop you and bring you to their secret headquarters below the pinball machine. You'll tell Barrett they have no obligations to either Shinra, your employer, or Avalanche, and he and Tifa will urge you to work with them. Continue to investigate the surroundings of the bar, it doesn't matter what you say, and be prepared for a flashback sequence. It appears you have made a promise with Tifa 7 years ago. Barrett will enter to the room once again with Cloud's pay, and because of his promise, Cloud will accept the mission, but at a much higher price. From here, Barrett will ask you about materia orbs. Explain to him how they work, explore the town, buy some items, and it's of Area 5 Mako Industry Complex. There's a training center there. Alright, page... Turn to page 394. Okay, Area 5. You'll be on the train again, and this time, you'll be an uninvited guest. You'll need to run from car to car, plagiarism, in a given amount of time, and then leap from the train down into the subway tunnels. In the tunnels, there's not much you can do, since every exit is sealed with security lasers. Find a small hole leading to Area 5. Go in and prepare for battle. This complex is very similar to the first, but this time the enemies are a little stronger. Run through the corridors, battle the demon hordes, and make your way to the reactor. Before you plant a bomb, a flashback will drop Cloud to his knees. Watch and all plant the bomb, and follow Tifa to the control center. She will instruct you to push a button at the same time as her and Barrett. You'll have an unlimited amount of time to do so don't get flustered. Doing this correctly will open a gate which you'll need to enter. Now you'll find yourself surrounded by guards on a bridge, and you'll finally meet the president of Shinra. He's not a nice man. Then you'll be confronted by a boss. Once again, this bad D is fairly easy, and your reward for victory is an awesome FMV sequence. To initiate, jump on the railing and swing down to the city below with Barrett and Tifa. Meeting with Aerith, also known as Eris, except in Japan. Cloud will awaken in chapel with Aerith in Area 5 slums. Talk to her and tell her you remember her when she was selling flowers. Continue talking to her, and you'll have a chance to name her. At this point, a Shinra guard will enter the scene. Aerith will request that you become the bodyguard, and your payment will be a date with her later on. From here, head to the top of the chapel. Aerith will fall, and you'll be confronted with a set of barrels. In order to drop the barrels on the heads of the attackers, tell Aerith to hold each time she asks you what to do. The correct order for pushing the barrels is to start with the leftmost barrel in the back, and the far right barrel in the back, and the far right barrel in the front, and finally the remaining barrel. Eventually, you'll make your escape with Aerith through the roof of the chapel. From here, head northeast through the Area 5 slum to Aerith's cozy little cottage. Upon returning her home safely, Cloud says he must head to Area 7 to meet up with his friends. Before doing this, head upstairs and rest. Since you think that the next adventure is too dangerous for Aerith, you must quickly escape quietly without waking her. To do so, walk, don't run slowly along the floor, avoiding any cracked floorboards. Once you make it through the stairs, you're on your way to leave the Area 5 slum, and you'll find Aerith waiting for you at the entrance to Area 6. As you approach Area 7, Sector 7, you'll see a touching sequence between Cloud and Aerith at a nearby playground. Then a caravan with Tifa will interrupt your conversation. You'll need to follow the fleeing Aerith to the slum town. Yes, you've entered the slums of Final Fantasy VII, and what you're about to do defies anything that has ever been done in an RPG. As with any new town, your first task is to explore it thoroughly, buy what you need, and stack your inventory. Next, you must head southeast to the women's club in the corner of the town. Here you'll need to talk to the manager, the guy in red. You want to ask him if he knows where Tifa is. He'll tell you to visit the mansion to the north. Head to the mansion and talk to the security guard. You'll find out that only females are allowed to enter the mansion. Now, head to the clothing store located on the strip in the west side of town. The owner's son will tell you to go to the bar directly across from the weapon shop and talk to his father. Aerith will convince him to make a dress for you, and you'll have to tell him what kind of dress you want. He can make 3 different ones depending on what you say. Return to the clothing shop, and the owner will make the dress for you, but first you need to obtain a wig so that your disguise will be complete. You'll find the wig at the gymnasium, located directly below the weapon shop. Talk to the woman, and she will offer you a wig, but only if you face her brother in a fitness match. Press square to kneel, press X to stand up, and press circle to bend over. You'll basically need to input a consistent pattern of square, X, circle, or in the case of PC, insert CX, over and over again with a 30-second time period. Even if you lose, you'll acquire a wig, but it won't be as cool as the one you'll receive if you win or tie. Now return to the clothing store for the last time. Enter the dressing room and change your clothes. While in disguise, head to the mansion. The guard will let you in. Head downstairs to the dungeon and you'll encounter Tifa. Tifa will inform you as to what's been going on, and she'll urge you to head up to Corneo's room. Corneo will line up all three of your party members up and choose one to be his woman. He'll choose Tifa if you have the cotton dress, Aerith if you have the blonde wig and the silky dress, and he'll choose you if you have the special items available in the silk dress, lingerie, facial makeup, sexy cologne, and the blonde wig. After a skit or two and a few battles, you'll wind up in Corneo's bedroom, and he'll review Shinra's new plan for disposing of Avalanche. A sequence will follow in Shinra IQ. The battle for Area 7. As you enter Area 7, you will notice that Barret and the rest of Avalanche are already knee-deep in battle. Fight your way to the top of the tower, and you'll engage with Reno the Turk. Once again, use your most powerful attacks against this goon to take him down. To remove Barret from one of your comrades, simply attack them or cast Asuna. Dish out enough damage and Reno will eventually leave. Unfortunately, you will not be able to save Area 7. A CG clip showing the utter destruction of Area 7 will shortly follow. It is a sad sight, but more importantly, an awesome and visual to witness. After this, Barret will express his anger over the death of his friends in Avalanche and the possible loss of his daughter. Head to Aerith's house for the full story. Immediately after dropping down into the sewers, you'll confront the boss, Apusu. Use magic attacks and the summon spells available to take this character down. Scattered within this first room, you'll find valuable materia. Continue through the sewers and into the abandoned train station, and you'll soon come to the next objective. So the screenshot has Area 5 bridge. It has a bridge boss, Aeris in Sector 6, Aeris' house. Make sure you explore the garden to the right of Aeris' house. This is the guy outside of Don Corneo's mansion. This is the shirt designer. And this is obviously Apus Sue. Okay, so inside Shinra. After entering the house, you run into Aeris' foster mother, who will explain Aeris' history and her Shinra ties. Once all of the conversations have ended, head upstairs and talk to Barret. He'll hint towards Aeris' love for you. You'll have to make the decision to accept the fact or not. Now head to the next room over and rest. Once you've caught enough Z's, head downstairs and leave the house. From here, go to the northern part of the slums where you'll see a group of children running off to the right. Follow them and ask them what they're doing. You'll find out that the pipe behind them leads to the upper levels of Midgar and most importantly the Shinra Corp building. Climb the pipe, go to the battery outlet, it doesn't work. You'll need to climb back down the pipe and go to the weapon shop where you can purchase a battery 300 gil to operate it. Buy 3, you'll need it. Now, the backtrack. Climb the pipe again, use the batteries on the 3 battery outlets. You'll need to make the daring jumps here with the circle button. But nothing too serious, you can't even reach the top of the Corp building. Now talk with Barret here, and I'll explain that Aerith is probably trapped in one of the top floors. You'll be given a choice on how to enter the building. Going through the back door is easier, but going through the front door will allow you to gain much needed experience points. Either way, you'll eventually end up on the floor 59. The minute you arrive, you will fight 3 guards, one of whom holds the key to floor 60. Now head into the glass elevator and choose floor 60. Be sure to coordinate floor 60 with your walking guards in effort to sneak in the guards. Only when the floor 60 guards are in motion, press the circle button to have your party follow. Now head to the 61st floor. Talk to everyone on the floor. One of the workers will suspiciously ask you what you're doing in the building. If you don't answer, he'll give you an access key. Floor 62. Take the stairs up to 62. You will notice that this floor has 4 different colored rooms, each holding a series of bookshelves. Enter the room to the left, and Domino will offer you to give you the keys up to the 65th floor if you could get the secret password. The password is hidden within all 4 of the rooms. We would give you the password, but it's random. You get hints by the puzzle, from the break, from the man standing by the door, but they will cost you money. We're not sure if he gives different hints each time, but here's the way we got to the solution. There's 1 file in each room that doesn't belong in the library. Take the number from the beginning of that file and count the number on the file starting from the left. Take all the letters, make up the solution to the puzzle, try it, but if it doesn't work, you'll have to pay up. Either way, if you get it right on the first try, he'll give you an extremely powerful materia. Otherwise, go back to the other room, make a wrong guess, read a book, and Domino will give you the key. Now go back into the staircase and head for floor 63. This floor is optional, but if you solve the puzzle, you receive a new materia. You'll only be able to open 3 doors in your quest to obtain 3 coupons. If you find the shortest route to them and use them in the computer in the room to the lower right, you'll obtain Pendant of Stars for coupon A, 4 slots for coupon B, and a new materia for coupon C. Once you've done with this, climb the staircase to floor 64. On this floor, you'll want to heal your character, equip them with what you want, and then save. Now head to floor 65. This level is strange and fairly annoying. All you need to do is find an unlocked treasure chest, bring the broken piece you received to the central mini Midgar structure, find its proper place, and repeat this process until all boxes are open. After this tedious task, you'll receive the key to floor 66. On the 66th floor, head to the bathroom and approach the porcelain god. Flush it, then climb on top of it. Now enter the air vents and observe a secret meeting hosted by President Shinra. After it's over, leave the bathroom and follow the scientist Hojo up the stairs to floor 67. From here, sneak over to the elevator and enter it. A sequence will follow, and you'll finally meet up with Aerith in a strange science lab. Another sequence will come up, and before you know it, the wondrous beast, Red 13, will join your party. Choose your party, name Red 13, and the rest of the party will inform you that they'll be waiting for you on the floor 66. Talk to the lab assistant in this floor, and he'll grant you access to the floor 68. From here, take the elevator down to floor 66. Along the way, you'll be snagged by the Turks and then thrown in jail. From inside your cell, talk to everybody and then get some sleep. When you wake up, you'll find that your cell door is unlocked and the guard is dead. From here, talk to everyone, enter the elevator, go back into the science lab, and head up to floor 69. This floor is President Shinra's office, and soon you'll find out that Sephiroth is responsible for all the killing. Proceed through the door next to the stairs, and you'll encounter Rufus, the dead president's son. Did we mention that Sephiroth killed the Prez also? After a brief sequence, you'll tell Barret to take everyone to safety. The game will switch over. That's open to interpretation, because we do see the helicopter leave twice. Once when they first show the Shinra building. After a brief sequence, you'll tell Barret to take everyone to safety. The game will switch over and put Aerith in control. Customize your characters to your liking. Enter the elevator and take down the mechanical boss. After this battle, the control will switch back to Cloud, and you'll have to go on head-to-head against Rufus. He's easy if you stick to powerful magic, but take out the dog first. Also make sure you have a restore materia on Cloud. Once he flees, head down to the main floor and meet up with Tifa, an awesome CG, with a Hog, Red 13, and Shinra will follow. So that's Red 13, guards, stairs, battery, and Cloud motorcycle boss, Sephiroth, out of Shinra's grasp. The bike scene is really cool, but extremely easy. All you have to do is keep the bikes away from your fleeing caravan. At the end of the lengthy sequence, you'll need to take a huge transforming robo-boss. This guy is strong and can inflict a ton of damage. Keep your enemy's health up at all costs and then head for the kill. You'll now flee Midgar. From here, you'll need to choose your characters and head to the town known as Calm. Flashback at Calm. Your first priority is to enter the inn and ignore everybody. Everyone will be waiting for you here, and for some reason, you'll flash back to your teen days and your involvement with Sephiroth. Follow Sephiroth to the inn and talk with him. Now rest and prepare for the adventure in the morning. At the crack of dawn, you'll need to cross through a mountain path to a Mako energy generator. This will be the only time you'll ever actually enter combat with Sephiroth as a partner. Darn. From here, part of Sephiroth's story will be told, and you'll start to see some of the twists and turns in the plot. This scene is extremely cool and need a real drag from here on in. Sephiroth will be an adversary. You'll think you're actually in Nibelheim, and you literally start confusing everything, and locations are very difficult for you. You'll now flash to the present and flash back to a different time. From here, enter the mansion to the north, enter the passage leads to the basement, and here you'll find Sephiroth searching for documentation on the truth and origin of his mother. Who or what is she? The flashback now continues in Nibelheim, and you'll encounter Tifa sporting a funky hat. Sephiroth will do some horrible things to the town, and the flashback concludes that you'll be vowing to seek revenge against him. This is all you need to do here, aside from obtaining the PHS from Aerith and exploring the town's many shops and taverns. Once you are done with this, head east to the Chocobo farm. Alright, so Don Corneo's mansion is Sephiroth's mansion. Chocobo Madness. The first thing you should do upon entering the farmyard is to talk to the Chocobo in the front. Choose the top option, and after they do their celebration dance, you'll obtain the Chocobo and Mog Summon Orb. Now enter the stalls and talk to everyone. You'll need to buy Chocobo materia from the man in the stall so that you can find them in the zones marked with footprints on the world map. Now head towards the Mithril Mines. You'll notice a large snake is blocking your path. You'll need to find a Chocobo ride in order to get past this slithering demon. If you fight it, you will surely die, so save before you leave the barn. Or get enemy skill and cast Beta on it, which he casts on you. And you could definitely still pwn him with L4 Suicide from the little turds outside of Calm. To catch a Chocobo, simply go to any set of footprints near the barn and fight until a Chocobo appears. Make sure you have the Chocobo materia enabled. Whatever you do not attack it. Destroy the other enemies and the Chocobo is now yours. Now ride it past the snake and into the mines. Mithril Mines. Inside the mine, you'll run to the Turks who work for Shinra. Continue through the mine and destroy anyone who crosses your path. Soon enough, you'll find an exit leading to a new land. The Golden Bird. Immediately after exiting the mine, you'll see a large tower with the Golden Bird on top. If you want, you can head into the tower. This is an optional event, but later in the game, you'll be required to enter the tower and compete in the strategic military game. This could be great training for your near future, but we advise that you'll wait until later to play it. The object of the game is easy. Kill the troops that are advancing up the mountain. After you sleep and save, head to Shinra's naval base. Trouble on the beachfront. First, take the time to explore this new land. Once you are satisfied with your exploration, enter the Shinra naval base on a cliff near the ocean. Talk to everyone you can, and then head down to the shoreline of the town, path leading into the screen. Before you talk to the little girl and her dolphin friend, prepare yourself for battle. A sea monster will emerge from the water. You'll need to kill it. This is an easy boss, but as always, use magic and summon spells to take it down. Only magic can destroy the bubbles. After you strip the monster of its life, you'll find the little girl talking on the beach unconscious. You'll need to apply CPR by collecting as much air as lung gauge will allow, then releasing it using the square button to breathe in and press square again to exhale. After saving your life, you'll return to the town to rest. After waking up, go find the little girl once again. She will give you the Shiva materia. Now follow her down to the beach and have her summon her dolphin. Ride the dolphin over to the metal structure and make him jump by pressing square. If you miss the metal beam, don't worry. You'll be placed perfectly and simply hit button again and you're on your way. Now climb to the airbase. Alright, so Golden Bird this is not the Golden Bird, this is a Kokobo. That's Yellow Bird. The Golden Bird is actually the Phoenix Bird. So he clearly mislabels it. I guess the Phoenix Bird, he doesn't actually get to see it pre-game. So breeding Kokobos. At the time we went to, I mean, also, I guess that means basically, because I know the one guy in the Phoenix Bird town, you need him to get the golden Kokobo, I think. Breeding Kokobos. At the time we went to press, we were unable to get a copy of the game in which the Kokobo breeding worked. However, we can give you some hints. After you get high wind, the Kokobo stables will open to you. But now you should already know how to catch them. But the secret to good Kokobo breeding is where you get them from and what you feed them. To breed a green Kokobo, you must first go to the Kokobo Sage's house on the northern continent. Outside his house, you'll encounter large red creatures. Using the steel command to take a carob nut from this creature, if you plan on breeding a blue or black Kokobo, you should grab a couple of extras of the carob nuts. Steel command to take a carob nut. I'm going to read that again. To breed a green Kokobo, you must first go to the Kokobo Sage's house on the northern continent. Outside his house, you will encounter large red creatures. Use the steel command to take a carob nut from this creature. If you plan on breeding a blue or black Kokobo, you should grab a couple of extras. Now you must catch 2 yellow Kokobos to mate. The first one you want to find is a male yellow Kokobo at the footprints just below Gold Saucer along the shore. After you have stabled that one, head to the island where you recovered Cloud. To the west of the city, or the live stream, depending on the progress of your quest, there are Kokobo tracks. Capture a female yellow Kokobo and head back to the stable. Now you want to save your game. Mate the 2 Kokobos and feed the newborn carob nut. The results are random, so you may get a yellow one, a blue one, or a green one. You want the green one. Reset and keep trying till you get it right. Now here's where our version had a bug. If you wait a while, you should be able to breed the 2 yellow Kokobos again, give the carob nut, and try to get a blue one. If you get one, make sure that it's opposite sex of your green Kokobo. Now let them rest. Before you breed them, you must feed them the Silkus Greens, fruit that costs 5,000 gil from the Kokobo Sage. Go feed the blue and green Kokobos 10 of each. Now you must race them at the Gold Saucer until they become Class A Kokobos. Breed them using the carob nut, and if this works, you should be able to create a black one. And yes, it could take a number of tries. Now each of these different colored Kokobos have different powers. The green one can climb mountains, the blue one can run over rivers and shallow waters, and the black one can do both. However, there's an ultimate gold Kokobo that can go anywhere. To get him, you must breed the black Kokobo and a yellow Kokobo of the opposite sex and use the Zeo nut from the boxing glove wearing creatures that live in the forest northeast of the stables. So I'll be getting the golden Kokobo when I stream, but not that way. I get it by defeating Ruby and Emerald. Much easier. Into the Shinra military. Upon arrival, you'll find yourself on a massive airstrip. Make your way into the buildings and head into the guard locker room. And here you'll run into a guard who will make you participate in the military parade. Change your clothes and follow the small group. You'll eventually make it to the streets where the parade is being held, and since it's televised, you'll want to blend in without making too many mistakes. All you have to do is locate the empty slot in the rows of soldiers and fill it as quickly as possible. The higher rating you receive, the better your item reward will be. After you finish this task, you'll return to the locker room where you'll need to learn how to handle a rifle. Quickly press the button that the lead guards calls out and you'll pass this drill easily. Don't try and memorize the button presses you'll need to make because they are completely random. Again, the better you perform in this procedure, the better your reward will be. After completing a few drills, explore the military base and then head to the boat. A time to relax. Your first order duty on the ship is to talk to everyone on board. You'll notice, hopefully, that all of your party members are on board and disguised as Shinra hired hands. Even Red 13 is trying to act like a human. Good boy. When you find Barrett, an alarm will sound off throughout the entire ship. Someone has been spotted. Who could it be? Locate the rest of your party and choose who want to join you. Head down to the lower deck of the ship, enter the door, watch Sephiroth stumble about, and prepare to fight a boss. After defeating it, take the material orb and items in your room before you leave. You will now be at the beach resort of Costa del Sol. Relax, catch a few rays, talk to the village folk, and walk down the beach. You'll recognize someone from the Shinra building, but don't talk to him just yet. Talk to the girls instead. Here we will learn everything you need to know about the mysterious familiar man in the lawn chair. Leave Costa del Sol and make way for the Coral Mountain Range. Everyone likes surfers. Everyone hates Barrett? What? Train to kill. Enter the mountain range, a path leads up to it, and battle your way across the train tracks. Be wary though, because 3 sections of the tracks are loose and you'll fall through if you step on them. When you do, it's inevitable, and you can either press circle before you fall or plunge down and grab as many valuable items as you can. You find the pendant of stars and the wizard rod. You won't die from falling, so make sure you grab the items. Now proceed across the tracks, talk to the rest of the party members, and enter the switchboard booth located at the upper track. I still don't have my air conditioner on. Throw the switch and continue to follow the trail to the rural town of North Coral. Everyone hates Barrett. After your trip up to the saucer, talk to the ticket taker at the front gate. If you have 30,000 gil, give it to him for a lifetime pass to the gold saucer. Or, alternatively, you can, actually, no, never mind. But later on, you could keep leaving and going into the gold saucer, and then you could buy 99 battle points from the guy all the way in the back, outside of the main gate to the golden saucer. Within, like, after you go up the gazebo thing or whatever, the lift. And I use that to get into, like, the battle tourney thing. You want to get it eventually. Now choose a character to accompany you and enter the Wonder Square, where you'll encounter Kate Sith. You'll have to name him, and he will join your party after you talk to him a few times. From here, play as many games as you want, but eventually, you must pull yourself free from amusement and enter the battle square. You'll notice that a few guards are dead due to severe gun wounds. Could be Barrett's handiwork. Before long, a brief sequence will take place, and you'll be sentenced into the depths of the Coral Prison since you've been accused of this devious murder. Gaming galore at the Gold Saucer. You notice right away that everyone in the town dislikes Barrett. Explore the town and grab whatever supplies you need. After you've talked to everyone, head to the station located in the lower left-hand side of town. Before you can move to the next screen, Barrett will have to do a flashback. We like it. After this, the station conductor will interrupt you and ask you if you want to board the trailer. Do it. Unlawfully accused. Immediately after entering Coral Prison Town, you run into Barrett, who urges you to stay back and leave him alone. Do it, explore the town and search for your thoughts, and head to the house directly below the save point. A short sequence will present an interesting plot turn, and Barrett will join your party once again. Head to the trailer with 2 guards protecting it, and talk to the main man in the green suit. Tell him that you want to leave the prison town, and he'll tell you about the Kokobo race. Now leave through the north prison gates and head for the junkyard to the right of the man walking around. Talk to him as well. Don't wander out into the desert or you'll get lost. At the junkyard, load Barrett up with whatever firepower and healing items he'll need for battle. After a brief sequence, Barrett will be thrust into a one-on-one battle against his long-lost friend. Beat the pulp out of him and he'll give you a strange pendant. Now, take the pendant back to the trailer and you'll now have the chance to win the Kokobo race and leave the prison permanently. Win the race and you'll be a free man. The race is easy, but it may take a few times to memorize the course and learn what you need to do. Before leaving, you'll find out that Sephiroth has been spotted at Gongaga Gate. Unlawfully accused. There's Ifrit. There's the Gaming Galore at the Gold Saucer. Alright. So mobile power and the Gongaga Gate. Leave the saucer and take your mighty all-terrain vehicle across the river back to the Gongaga area. You'll notice a shallow spot in the river that you can cross. In this zone, follow the path over to the destroyed Mako site. A short cut sequence will follow explaining that Shinra Corp is devising a new weapon. Stay out of sight, and then when you have a chance, grab the summoned Materia Titan that Scarlet misses. Now take the path that you come in and go into the other way, small rural town. Here you run into even more cut sequences and interesting plot twists. But your first order of business is to talk to Tifa. You'll learn that she's holding something back. Search the town, rest, and head to Cosmo Canyon. Like I said earlier. The origin of Red 13. As you enter the town, you notice a little better Red 13 goes by the name of Nanaki. Strange. Now talk to the man in front of the entrance, and then Red 13 will come and tell him to enter. Once inside, talk to Red 13, and he'll explain the significance of the town and some of its history. From here, follow Red 13 wherever he goes, and you'll eventually enter an observatory. A cool FMV sequence will show what is happening to the universe and why it is dying. Leave the room and head over to the bonfire. At this moment, you'll find out that your next quest is from Red 13. After this, choose which character you want in your party and enter the Forbidden Cavern with Bugenhagen. Make your way through the caverns and open every box you see. You'll be extremely thorough to find everything, so keep your eyes peeled. At the end of the cavern, you'll run into a boss. Kick his tail, and you'll find out more about Red 13. Head back to the bonfire, gather whatever supplies you need, and leave the town. The search for Yuffie. In any clump of forestry, you can find Yuffie. This event can happen only during Death 2, so make sure you do this before the move onto Disc 3. You'll be required to fight her before she'll join your party. Also, you need to answer the questions correctly. Otherwise, she'll run away, and you'll have to start over again. Here's the order of what choices to pick. Talking to her, bottom choice, top choice, bottom choice, top choice, bottom choice. The event is completely optional. So you just have to do the opposite each time and start with the bottom. Okay. This event is completely optional, but it is nice to have everyone possible in your army. Plus, you'll need her to get the Leviathan materia. Really? The Leviathan materia you get after you defeat Ultimate Weapon in near Cosmo Canyon, where you get Cloud's Ultimate Weapon in that forest. From here, proceed through the canyons, past the mountains, across the river, and over to Nibelheim, Cloud and Tifa's hometown. Vampires in the homeland. Something is seriously wrong with this village. But before you investigate, load yourself up with the goods you'll need to talk to the black-caped beings to receive some awesome items. If you want to be a musician, you can play Tifa's piano on the second floor home. Try playing X, square, triangle, L1, triangle, L1. Oh, wait. X. I'm starting over. X, square, triangle, L1 plus triangle, L1 plus square, X, square, triangle, L1 plus X, circle, X, square, X. When you're ready for action, head into the mansion. In this creepy rundown house of evil, explore every room and enter as many fights as you can. This is a great area to gain some serious experience points. One of the rooms contains a safe which requires a password to open it. You may have found some of the numbers of the combinations scattered within the rooms that would make your life easier. Here's a passcode, 36105997. Blammo. However, you need to fight a deadly boss before you can claim your prize. Kick his butt and you'll obtain a key to summon materia Odin. Hint, when entering the safe combination, you cannot go past the number you are entering. Head downstairs and open the door that is locked, and here you'll find Vincent in a coffin. Explain to him what your quest is about and he'll return to his coffin. Don't leave yet. Talk to him again and ask him about his situation. You'll need to name him so he'll join your party. While downstairs, proceed into the library, which look familiar, and you'll run into Sephiroth. Pick up the materia throws at your face and leave the mansion. Continue north to the Nibel Mountains. Use your cunning. He obviously throws combat at you, I think. Use your cunning combat skills as well as your battle ogres and demons in the mountain pass. Then cross the bridge to enter the cavern. It's funny, he throws combat at you. Once inside, you'll run into a boss. It's not very strong, so you'll have to no problem taking it down. Make sure you use the ladder to reach the lower level of the caverns, or else you will not leave the luxury of exploring the maze of pipes, which holds some very powerful items. Materia, unless of course you take the longer route to the left. Once you've obtained what you want and need, head to Rocket Town. First, explore the town and talk to all the locals. Make sure you talk to the only man by the materia shop at least 3 times. He'll give you a gift. Then head over to the house in the upper left-hand sector of the town. Enter the house, head out the back, and a tiny cut sequence will follow. Now, mosey on down to the rocket site, and you'll run into Sid. We'll ask you why you're there. Ask him about the rocket and Rufus, who will be visiting very shortly. Once you're done, head back to his house where you just were and listen to what they have to say. Leave the house and you'll notice that Rufus has arrived. As you watch the action, Shira will ask you to come back to the house and stop Palmer. Head to the backyard of the end of the battle. After winning, you'll escape with Sid on the plane and he will join your cause. So, Sid says, but because of that dumbass Shira, the launch got messed up. That's why she became so anal. Vampires in the homeland. Fighting this guy was tough. Make sure you save before taking him on. The US version of Final Fantasy VII has many improvements, including this new targeting toggle. The origin of Red 13. Old Man Bugenhagen has lots of cool toys. Mobile power and the Gongaga Gate. Alright, next page. Is Yuffie a traitor? This segment of the game is completely optional and only available if you found Yuffie. Anyway, take your newly obtained plane, which operates like a boat, and travel over to the leftmost island of the map. No matter how much Yuffie tries to sidetrack you, continue on through the mountain pass and into the town of Utai. It's actually Wutai with a W. Upon entering, check your materia. Yep, it's all gone. Did Yuffie take it? If yes, she did. Now you'll have to hunt her down. The first thing you'll notice once you are in town is Yuffie running by. Follow her and explore the town as you try and catch her. No matter what material you pick up in the town, Yuffie will always appear and steal it from you. Once you catch up with her, she will finally tell you everything you want to know. She will eventually pull you to the left switch to obtain all your materia. After pulling it, you'll soon realize, since you are in a cage, that she has tricked you once again. From here, she will tell you her real story. Now leave her house and head toward the large temple at the end of the path on the northwest corner of town. In the temple, ring the gong, and a secret passage will be revealed. You run into Don Corneo, remember him from the slum town, and he'll claim that Yuffie and Elena the Turk are his. You'll have to fight some Shinra guards that have entered the scene. From here, leave the temple and head towards the mountains beyond the town. You need to battle some strange monsters as you proceed up the mountain pass. You'll eventually run into Corneo, his captives, and his new friend, a boss. Use magic and summon spells to take this gut down, and make sure to keep all your party members' health meters close to full. After you clobber his pet, Corneo will plummet and Yuffie will finally return all your material. Leave the town and head back to your plane. That darn house. Travel across the rivers back to the continent with a gold saucer to enter the tiny house on the shore's edge. Inside you'll find a blacksmith. Talk to him and learn about the keystone and what it does. You'll also find out that Dio, the manager of the gold saucer, is holding it in his museum. Now head back to the gold saucer. Look for Yuffie in this barrel after you see her in the old man's house. Quest for the keystone. Once inside, head over to the battle square and enter Dios' showroom. The keystone is located in the center of the room on the rock pillar. As you try to take it, Dio will enter the room and will offer to let you borrow the keystone if Cloud will enter his battle arena and fight for Dio's amusement. Agree to his terms and enter the arena. You will be by yourself, and at times this may not seem fair. After each round, you'll have to choose a random item from a slot machine device that will either help or destroy your efforts to be victorious. Don't worry though, the handicaps, magic decreases, etc. are only effective in the arena and won't destroy your current status. After a long and treacherous battle, you'll finally obtain the keystone. As you try and leave the gold saucer, you'll find out that transport is out of order and you'll need to spend the night at the hotel. Kate Sith will accompany you. A brief sequence will commence at the hotel, and you'll find that Sephiroth is hunting down the black materia. Now turn in, and Aerith will enter your room asking you to go on a date. In the main area of the gold saucer, an announcer will tell you that you are the 100th couple to enter the event square, and that you must participate in the play. After this funny scene, Aerith will ask you if she can ride the gondola next. Head to the round square and prepare to be blown away by an awesome FMV. Aerith will ask you if you want to go out with her again. This is up to you. From here, a short sequence will show that Kate has stolen the keystone. Chase him, and you will learn that Kate works for Shinra, but you have no choice other to let him join your cause. Everyone will gather together in the hotel lobby, and you'll decide to travel to the ancient ruins and try to get back to the black materia first. Choose who you want on your team and head back to the plane. My controlling this cat from there. Okay. Limit breaks. Limit breaks are an extremely important and deadly attack, crucial to success. There are 4 levels of limit breaks, but everyone starts the game with a level 1 limit break. Remember, most of the characters have 2 breaks per level, but everyone has only 1 break for level 4. You'll need to use your limit breaks repeatedly, so you can learn more powerful limit breaks. However, learning level 4 limit breaks is more difficult. You must first learn all the limit breaks for your character. Then you must also have the limit break item that teaches this attack. Each character, his/her own special manual. After you find them, you must use the correct manual on each respective character, then set his or her limit break to level 4. Here's where each of the manuals is found. Cloud, back at his old friend, the Gold Saucer, won 32,000 battle points, so visit him and buy the item. Barrett, after the train ride in Diz 2, there's a lady in a hat and building North Coral. She'll give it to you. Tifa, you must play the song on Tifa's piano. Red 13, in Sephiroth's house is a safe. Use the combo. Yuffie. After complete Yuffie's mini quest, cruise back to Wutai, go to the pagoda, and defeat Godo. You will then receive the manual. Enter the submarine or Kokobo, blue, black, gold is needed. Go and visit the waterfall in the middle of the western continent. Vincent must be with you, and you must enter to the left side of the waterfall. Note, you must visit the waterfall twice, once on disc 2 and once on disc 3. That's not true. Use the submarine and search for the plane wreck, the same one where you found the Hades summon materia on the south part of the map. The sunken plane is between the eastern and western continents. Inside the plane is a treasure chest hiding this manual. Alright, summon materia. Of all the materia in Final Fantasy VII, the red materia is the most powerful. However, it is also the most elusive. Days of painstaking gameplay are required to unearth every one of these ruby red wonders. But the result is well worth it, because red materia, from now on, referred to as summon materia, enable the deadly and beautiful summon spells. Summon materia are some of the coolest things in Final Fantasy VII, and this guide will explain where each and every one is hidden. Kokobo and Mog Disc 1. To find this materia, visit the Kokobo farm, talk to the Kokobo that's fenced in near the wooden fence. Shiva Disc 1. In between the Kokobo farm and Condor Fort, there is a cave that holds this materia. Look for it when traveling through the Mythril Mines. If you've reached Junon Town, you've gone too far. Actually, it's given to you by the little dolphin girl in Junon. Ifrit, Disc 1. Of the Shinra boat, take down the Genova berth to Gamer. This awesome summon materia. Okay, so after on the boat. Titan. This is a village located in the woods named Gongaga that is before Cosmo Canyon. Wait for the Turks to leave and then check the decrepit machinery where Alina was looking. Rama, Disc 1. In everyone's favorite fun spot, the Gold Saucer, check above the alcove in Kokobo Jockey's room. After you're in, you fight Dine. Odin. Defeat the boss in the mansion in Nibelheim when you open the 36, 10, 59, 97 save. Voila, another summon materia. Leviathan. This one is given to you after you waste the boss on top of the pagoda in Wutai. Pretty sure it's Leviathan you get in the ancient forest. Oh no, that's Chupon. Okay. Alright. So Kujata. In the endless forest on the continent of the north, you'll find this materia floating on the second screen as you enter the forest. You must walk up to it to get it. Bahamut. After you meet Sephiroth, you battle a dragon in the temple. Beat that dragon, wait for the temple to shake, and its materia. Alexander, Disc 2. On the north continent, there is an old man shack at the end of the snowboarding scene. Below that shack is an icy wasteland. Head east through the snow and find a cave. It's in there. Neo Bahamut. This one is fairly obvious since it's lying on a path that leads to the first barrier on the crater inside the frozen mountain. Phoenix. This one is easy. All you need to do is win the mini battle at Condor Fort. You'll find the materia on the floor after the egg hatches at the top of Fort Condor after the battle. And Hades. Use a submarine to find the now defunctional airplane. You'll find the materia next to the broken helicopter inside of the shrunken airplane. The best place to train. Bahamut Form 0. Go visit the Old Man in Cosmo Canyon after you collected the huge materia and Bahamut and Neo Bahamut. Go into the blue huge materia in the galaxy, holodeck, and touch it. Sweet, another materia. So you get the huge materia on the train with Barrett, and then you get another huge materia in the spaceship with Sid. And I think that's basically it. I forget all of them. Chupon. In the third area of the Frog Forest, there are 3 pink vines. Swing across the branch on the other side and grab the bag. Knights of the Round Table, Disc 2-3. This is extremely difficult to reach, since you'll need a breed of gold Kokobo. See strategy, page 15. Once you have the gold Kokobo, use it to the Strange Islands toward the northeast corner of the map. Find the cave and you'll find the materia. You get there with the gold Kokobo after you beat Ruby and Emerald. Master Summon. After you have collected all the summon materia, go to the Galaxy holodeck in the Cosmo Canyon and touch the red huge materia. Or beat Ruby and Emerald. And get Master Magic also. Alright, searching for the black materia. Head to the island of the ancient ruins. It's located near the bottom of the map and has a pyramid on it. When you arrive, enter the pyramid. I think Master Summon you also get after Emerald, not Ruby. When you arrive, enter the pyramid-shaped ruins. A short sequence will occur, and one of the Turk goons will give you the keystone and urge you to hunt down Sephiroth. Use the keystone to enter and carefully explore every staircase and cavern to obtain some nifty items. Remember, you can climb on the plant vines. After you complete this tiresome expedition, you'll enter a room filled with gigantic rolling boulders, and yes, you'll need to sneak past them. Before you leave this room, talk to the old dwarf to save your game, and then proceed out to the upper right room. In this room, you'll encounter a gigantic clock with separate rooms for each one of the 12 numbers. Carefully time your presses to stop the hands on the clock, and don't walk out across until the second hand is away from you, unless you want to go down to the bottom of get the weapon for a cloud that is located here. If you get hit, you'll fall into a pit. Here's what the room holds: 1. Treasure chest trap. 2. Block path. 3. Treasure chest trap boss. 4. Prince guard item. 5. Path and treasure chest. 6. Chase the dwarf puzzle. 7. New weapon for Kate Sith. 8. Elixir item. 9. Block path. 10. Your starting point. 11. Block path. 12. Boss and exit. We recommend hitting each and every path in Old Temple Ruins, but if you are in a hurry, make sure you hit 6. There's a short sequence here where Cloud freaks out. You also need to fight a fairly easy boss. You'll soon learn that the whole ruin structure is the black materia, and you'll have to entrust Kate to pull you out of the current dilemma. Head back to the clock and hit this 12 exit. You'll need to fight a fairly difficult boss here, but if you have some decent summon spells, it shouldn't be too difficult to take down. A massive story sequence will follow you with some major twists where all the drama is over. You'll find yourself back in Gongaga. Death in the family. Leaving the Gongaga area and head over to the Bone Village, headed towards on the North Continent. As you enter the village, go talk to the boss of the camp near the doctor, and he'll have his team excavate the land to find the lunar heart. For a fee, of course. First, request to search for the lunar heart. Be patient and continue searching until you find it. Once you do, proceed on through the forest and grab the floating summoning materia before it vanishes. Kujata. Is it Kujata? Yes. Okay. Eventually, you arrive at Shell Village. This is an extremely large town, and you should explore it thoroughly. However, before you head up to the center path, go to the Shell House on the right side and rest for the night. Another sequence will follow, and you'll leave the house and take the central path. You'll be confronted by yet another sequence, and before you know it, something tragic will happen. Insert disc 2 at this reference point. We finished the disc 1 in 26 hours and 20 minutes with Cloud at level 40. Alright, so 3 more pages. The search for Sephiroth begins. Follow Sephiroth through the Shell Village, past the caves outside and near the glaciers, head to the Glacier Lodge, which is located near the mountain peaks. First, explore the town, and enter the house on the eastern side of town. In the main room, look at the map on the wall. On the wall. And then take it. Now talk to the man at the north end of the village and tell him you want to go down to the hill. You'll be stopped by the Shinra before you can leave, and Elena from the Turks will take a swing at you. Dodge left to avoid her punch, and the result is a hilarious scene where she rolls down the mountain. From here on in, the town will be infested with Shinra guards. Go to the tiny house in the center of the town and talk to the boy. He will offer you a snowboard. Walk over and pick it up. You can now snowboard. Wicked Borders. At this point, you'll have to show off your boarding skills. This stage is fairly long, extremely entertaining, you can perform tricks by doing certain button presses, off, jumps, try and collect as many items as you can, and above all, enjoy the ride. After making it to the bottom of the slopes, doesn't matter which way you go, pull out your map and head for the red point on it. There are several ways you can get there, and while advancing your goal, you'll run into a heap of battles. Keep your character's head powered up. There is a summon materia in this area, so make sure you touch the water in the steaming lakes while you're here. Eventually, you'll pass out the cold as you reach the area for goodies. Talk to the old man, and he'll tell you how to conquer the cliff face. You could also run all the way to the right, and you can go into a cave, and it looks cool. I never went there before. Before that, get some rest and head up to the mountain. As you climb, make sure you keep your body temperature above 25 degrees. If it dips below, you'll be returned to the house, and you'll have to start over. By pressing the square button, Cloud will run in place and generate heat. Try and keep as high as you can, and replenish on every cliff. Eventually, you'll enter a cave. In the cave, push the first boulder you see to open the path to the next area. Now you must follow the passage and break all 4 icicles through combat to make a bridge in the room below. Head out and fight the boss. Hit his head left with normal attacks and his head right with magic to take him down. Once you reach the peak of the mountain, you'll be greeted by an awesome CG sequence. Follow the path down to the crater. If Tifa isn't in your party, she will join. Continue along the path and head north. Time your movement to get through the barriers, and eventually run to Sephiroth. The meter arrives. The first order of business here is to defeat a boss. After defeating it, you will receive the black materia, and since you fear that you'll lose control, you give it to Red 13. Now continue forward and pass through the final barrier. At this point, a series of major events occurs and the game takes its twist. A very awesome one, wouldn't you say? Shinra strikes back. In the next scene, you are in control of Tifa at the Shinra Air Base in Junon. Talk to Barrett, and a sequence with Rufus will explain your current predicament. Follow the guards out of the room and enter the press conference. Now head over to the gas chamber door. After watching the brilliant CG, run toward the airbase corridors to look for help. On the upper level, you'll find Yuffie in disguise. Quickly follow Kate Sith over to the airstrip. The control will now switch over to Tifa, and you'll need to get her free. Use the triangle button to move her head, square for the right hand, circle for the left hand, and X to move her legs. Press the buttons in this order: X, X, triangle, square plus triangle, triangle plus circle, circle. Now turn off the gas and search for the door to get out. From here, head towards the edge of the cannon. At the ends of the cannon, a sequence between Tifa and Scarlet will follow. Quickly tap the circle button to slap her faster. Another fantastic CG will take place. After this, you'll be aboard your ship. Decisions. First, head to the main control and talk to everyone. Red 13 will suggest that you steer heading to the village of Mid-Eel, located on a small island where Cloud goes crazy. Or, if you're found, you can go back to her hometown, and in this event, optionally go to the Leviathan materia. Head back to the town of Wutai and enter the temple to the northwest. As Yuffie, you'll now have to battle your way through 5 floors of the temple and eventually confront and battle your father. If you beat all 5 of the bosses and make peace with your father, then your objective is done. Now follow Red 13's suggestion and head to the village of Mid-Eel. Condition critical. Explore the town and you'll find your lost friend soon enough. Try talking to the dog. Too bad, he's different. Tifa will stay with him. And you'll need to head back to the airship. Move to the control room and talk to everyone. Sid will become the leader, and the game will end. Just kidding. Flying the airship to the Mako refinery located to the North Coral by the Gold Saucer. Now, head across the long bridge and railroad tracks and battle your way through a series of enemies. Soon you'll be in hot pursuit of Shinra with only 10 minutes to catch up with a train. You'll have a train of your own, and you'll need to press up and triangle in a time of minute to build up enough speed to catch up with the Shinra train. When you catch up, you'll be with the party over to the train, fighting everyone you encounter as you make your way toward the engine. But here's the catch. You're still on the clock. If you can make it in the engine room on time, you'll all receive huge materia and a free night in the inn. If you don't, well, get the huge materia, then you don't get the free Ultima materia from the little boy, so we advise that you do it over again until you save the town. Now, with a huge materia in hand, board the airship and head toward the Condor Fort, the large tower with the bird on it. The chase continues. Talk to the guard standing outside and tell him you'll assist him. Now talk to everyone inside, gathering what information you can. We gave you the chance to practice this battle before, but if you didn't, sorry. Once again, your only objective is to destroy the army advancing up the hill. We suggest that you use more weapons toward the bottom of the hill, catapults, etc., and more men at the top. After winning the battle, you will receive another huge materia. Make sure you grab the Phoenix Summon materia on your way out, board your ship, and head for Mid-Eel. Back to Mid-Eel. Search all the shops and buy what you need. Also, if you have the Mimic Greens, the one that costs 1500 gil at the Kokobo farm, you give it to the small white Kokobo that runs around the various shops. Give it to the food, and then pet its ears, and it will give you a powerful materia. Then head over to the weapons shop and examine the locked door. Head outside and search behind the old man, and you'll find an old rusted key. Head back to the shop and use the key on the door. It will break, and the store owner will ask you what happened. Eventually, he will give you Ring of the Cursed. Now enter the hospital and talk to Tifa. Head back outside and prepare to battle the ultimate weapon. The boss is extremely tricky and a serious pain in the kazoo. After you beat it, the whole city will begin to fall apart, and Tifa and Cloud will plummet into the live stream. Welcome to Cloud's mind. Work your way through the different sequences representing eras in Cloud's life. Eventually, you'll return to the airship. So this is where you can get the guidebook. If you morph, use morph on the ghost ship and Junon underwater. Junon underwater reactor. Let's have a look, Cloud. I know it's not easy, but it'll be right with you. Ah, who's that? Bahamut Zero. There is hope. That is Scarlet fight. Diamond weapon. In the Japanese version, you didn't get to fight this guy, but now you can. The rocket's red glare. Return to the rocket village. Run to the rocket and prepare for battle. The men in blue are a serious pain, but not too difficult if you have a good healer in your party. Run over to the rocket's control room and release the huge materia. To release it, circle square XX on the control panel. Once you have it, head back to your airship and return to Cosmo Canyon, Red 13's town. Head up to your observatory and talk to Bugenhagen. He will suggest that you go to the shell village. Make sure that you have the shell key from underwater. But first, view the materia floating around underwater with a submarine. They are called huge materia and are needed to make master materia. To make master materia, you must collect all the materia that are available for each type of materia. For instance, if you have all the red summon materia available in the game and touch the red huge materia, you'll get the summon master materia. While you don't need the master materia to beat the game, they are sure cool to have. Note, if you have the Neo Bahamut and Bahamut summon materia, you could touch the blue materia to receive huge Bahamut Zero. Obviously, the key is to the right of Junon. Now return to the airship and then to the left. Now return to the airship and get a steady course to Shell Village. There is hope. Once in the village, follow the left path until you come to the blue stream. A sequence will unfold and Cloud will realize what must be done. We won't ruin it for you. After this awesome sequence, Kate Sith will call with information in Shinra. However, there's one slight complication. Actually, it's a big one, and you should head to the shores of Midgard to greet him. I'd save now. If I were you, talk to the man once he reaches the shore. After you have defeated the weapon, head north to the crater on the northern continent. Yes, it's hard to believe, but another cool scene will follow, and you must now fly into Midgard City to stop Hojo. Follow Kate Sith down into the underground, and you will run into the Turks once again. However, Kate Sith's ultimate weapon is in the lockers on the 64th floor of the Shinra building if you'd like to do that first. Kick the Turks' butts and head north. There are also some cool items to the south. Battle your way up to the Mako Cannon. We'll have to battle Hojo. Beat him and prepare for the final battle. Insert disc 3. For your reference, we had a total time of 41 hours and 49 minutes at this point with Cloud at level 59. Alright, 2 more pages. Bravery and Power. At this point in the game, you'll have reached the final battle. If you want, head down into the pit and you will come face to face with Sephiroth and the end of the game. We're going to leave this up to you. Simply battle your way down the cliffs and engage with Sephiroth. Before you face off with Sephiroth, be sure that you power up all your characters in the swamps, the area where you can pop in and out of the water. All the enemies here are rather easy, and they're rather dish out experience and attack points. Also, if you got the save crystal from the first treasure chest in the pit, you should put that down here. Sephiroth is extremely tough, but if you spend enough time gaining experience, you should have no problems. Enjoy the new music and lengthy ending. And if you go to the right, you get that like spike there, and if you go to the left, you get to go that way. Otherwise, there's plenty left to do before you face Sephiroth. Head to the eastern continent. Yeah, right is the spike and left is the webs. So, spiders or Vincent. Head to the eastern continent and you'll see the ultimate weapon has made a nest out of the mountain just north of Junon where he's holding Cloud's Ultima Sword. To get it, you must fight him a number of times. If you survive the first battle, the ultimate weapon will fly off. Find him and ram the high wind into him again and again until he stops you and you can fight him again. Repeat the process until he tumbles down to the earth and get Cloud's ultimate weapon. Also, now's a good time to go back to the area underneath the waterfall with Vincent and collect those items. But now you might have noticed that there's an extremely rare difficult boss. Yes, he's harder than the end boss. Down here you can fight. While beating him is no easy task, it's Emerald. It's definitely one of the funniest battles in the game. And he'll give you a secret item. Still feeling spunky? Why don't you head up to the Gold Saucer and take on the Red Scorpion boss that's moving around in the sand down below. He's tough too. If you beat him, he'll give you a Desert Rose, which you can give to the guy in Calm and get the Golden Chocobo. Still can't beat them? Now would be a good time to go around and collect everyone's level 4 limit breakers. Not only are they cool to watch, but they kick some major boss butt. As a matter of fact, we wouldn't advise anyone to take on either of the 2 weapons we mentioned previously until they have at least a couple of these. Trust us, you'll need all the power you can get to kill these guys. Finally, you can go raise chocobos. Of course you can do this anytime after you get the high wind, but you can do it now too. If you manage to breed a gold chocobo, you can use it to get to the island located in the top northeast corner of the map that holds the most powerful summon materia in the game, the Knights of the Round Table. Well, that's it for now. Kick butt, tell your friends how awesome this game is, and maybe we could we'll see you again next time when Final Fantasy VIII comes out. So, ultimate weapons. What in the world would you rather have than the ultimate weapon? The answer is nothing, and since this is your Final Fantasy, any dreams can come true. Each character in the Final Fantasy VII has an ultimate weapon, but there's more to it than that. First, you have to find the weapon. Each and every one is scattered throughout the entire Final Fantasy VII planet. Then once you find each weapon, you must power it up in a specific way. For those whose lives cannot be fully and wholly entirely consumed by the beautiful and beneficent Final Fantasy VII, Game 4 is here to help. Right before your very eyes are the locations and power-up methods for every ultimate weapon. Cloud, ultimate weapon. Location, just after you start the final assault on Sephiroth in Disc 3. Head back out to the world map and kill the wandering dragon whose name also happens to be ultimate weapon. Power up. This weapon's damage is contingent upon Cloud's current HP status. The more HP he has, the more damage it inflicts. Barret, missing score. During this quest to stop the Mako overload at Medgar at the end of Disc 2, there is a chest holding the missing score on the staircase just below the Reach Hojo. Barret must be a member of your party to find this weapon. Power up. Attach materia to this weapon. Damage is dictated by the AP of the materia. I didn't know that. Premium. Tifa, Premium Heart. Location: in Diz 2 or 3, go to the Midgar City, head to the wall market, and examine the computer in a room marked item. Power up: every time Tifa executes a limit break, but misses with at least one spinning wheel, the premium heart powers up. Eris, Princess Guard. Location: while engaged in the moving clock minigame, you can obtain the Princess Guard from the ancient temple. Power up: this weapon is only available for a short period of time, so we did not discover how to power it up. Red 13, Limited Moon. In Diz 2, after the monster attacks Midgar City, visit Bugenhagen and it will give it to Red 13. Power: similar to Cloud's ultimate weapon, Red 13's MPs determine damage. The higher the MPs, the better the damage. Yuffie, Conformer. Location in Diz 2 or 3, just check around the wrecked plane. Power up: damage depends upon the experience points of an enemy. If an enemy's experience points are higher, the Conformer actually powers up. Kate Sith, Marvelous Jeer. In Diz 2, during the raid on Midgar City, search below lockers on the 64th floor of Shinra HQ. Power up: the method is identical to the Limited Moon of Red 13. Vincent, Death Penalty. Location: when you obtain Vincent's Limit Break manual, you also get the death penalty. Where are we, Texas? Power up: the number of death blows Vincent has delivered determines this weapon's damage. Note: death blow prior to Vincent's acquisition of this weapon are also counted. Sid, Venus Gospel. Location: in Diz 1 or 2, the man who gave Cloud a sword in Diz 1 will be standing just outside a house near the rocket pad. Talk to him 3 times. Note: this has only been done after the rocket has been destroyed. Power up: the method is identical to the Limited Moon of Red 13. Getting the level 4 limit breaks is tough, but the payoff is well worth it. The underwater weapon is the toughest boss in the game. This guy is new to the American version of Final Fantasy VII. He only appears after you defeat the ultimate weapon, and he's actually way harder than Emerald. Receive key item, key to Sector 5. Alright, so... oh. Yeah, that's it. Alright, I'm done.